Hi guys, welcome back to Cedar Fair's Adventure. If you didn't watch the last episode, I built the stadium that you're currently looking at right now. Today I'm just going to do a few extra little details to the front of it, just to really kind of finish it up. I'm going to add like an entrance here, just to make it more appealing for the guests of the park to walk up to. As well as doing that, I'm actually going to go back to the roller coaster Rogue Runner, which is also in this area of the park, which is the launch coaster, very similar to kind of Stealth or Accelerator from Thorpe Park or Knott's Berry Farm. But basically I'm just going to add in the little things like a queue line and lockers and that kind of thing. That coaster, I do not 100% complete it in details. I always think of things when I'm not recording or playing, and I go back and do them later on. So there's a couple of things I think of that I need to add onto the coaster. Very small details, but things I needed to do. So I do that at a later time. But I do that today, as well as also add like some toilets and that kind of thing, and just kind of tie up the areas of the park. So I'm going to concentrate on doing the path work between the area which is the diner and the kind of kids area that flows up into this back corner of the park. So I'm going to use path covers like I do normally, just to kind of create shapes and make the paths not so blocky and square. And I'm going to add the curves in like I'm doing here, and then just adds a bit more, I don't know, it makes it more interesting to look at, or the design of the path's more interesting. So the stadium's not as random in the corner there anymore. I've kind of got that nice curved path, so it's got like its own little area going on. So I'm just going to kind of do that kind of thing, add the borders around the edges, make the paths flow a bit more. And as well as add my custom fence that I designed way back along in maybe one of the first episodes, just by kind of lowering and raising these wooden beams up and down to kind of get like a nice fancy fence shape. So I'm just going to do that around the outside so that the guests that are in this area of the park cannot see into the backstage area that I've built. I do later on actually kind of add like a secret path, gateway door thing from this area into the backstage area, so that staff members of the park can actually easily go into that backstage area there through this area of the park. But this is actually the last area of this park. I'm quite sad actually, it's kind of coming towards the end now of me showing you what I built with this park. I can't wait to release the park on Steam if I can. I'm not sure if I can put stuff on there with custom scenery or not. I shall find that out. I think I can. But I'm going to pop it on Steam when I've finished completely making the park, so that you guys that play Parkitect and watch my videos can download this park and explore it for yourselves. I'm sure there's some little things in there that you'll find that maybe I haven't shown you properly in the videos, which I think is pretty cool actually. So it'd be really cool if you guys could explore the park and let me know what you think, and what, you know, maybe some of you could actually delete a couple coasters off the park and actually add in your own new coaster in that area, or develop a whole new area of the park. That would be really cool. I kind of have thought about doing that myself, like maybe being like, oh, where could the park expand to? And the only kind of thing the only way I think I could do that is if I got rid of the Tidal Wave water ride, which is actually very close to this coaster. And I could kind of expand the park in that diagonal direction in the back left corner of the park by the wooden coaster. There is a big area of land there, which I kind of left there on purpose, so that if any of you, or you know, download this park and you do want to expand, there is a possible area that you could expand. You might have to be quite creative on how you expand that area, but there's definitely land there, enough land to build something. I actually thought maybe in real life the area of that park in that corner where there is a lot of land would actually maybe be like a water park area. I'm not going to do a water park in this park because there's so much already in the park. The game, you know, starts to struggle a little bit to load and to play smoothly. And I think if I added a water park with all the different things that I'd have to do in that, it would just be that extra little bit too much for the game to handle. But I have built a water park before in Parkitect, way back to one of my early parks. I can't even remember what the name of the park was now. But I did build a water park And it was very cool that the park had a very Not to Bury Farm kind of feel to it. And then across the road that I built a water park, which was really cool. And I just used the bobsleigh pieces as basically water slides and coloured them in water slide kind of colours and made fake pools using the water and everything. And that was really cool. I really enjoyed doing that. Unfortunately, it doesn't function, so no one could actually use the water park. But that would be like a cool thing to have in the game in the future, maybe like water park things. I don't think there are any plans for a water park feature to be in the game. I think I've read somewhere, but you know, it's cool to maybe have some like custom scenery pieces where you can make fake water parks or something. That would be cool. So, sorry, going back to what I'm doing here, I'm just adding in some details into the launch coaster here. I've put a little maintenance shed there at the bottom of the launch. Normally there is like hydraulic pumps and things in there that help accelerate the roller coaster. So I did that, and then I put some stepping stones across the water there. This would be like a staff path area if they need to get to the maintenance launch shed on the coaster. They could kind of go down this little side path across the stepping stones to get across the water, and then to the maintenance shed there. So I'm just doing the guest queue line now for the ride. This goes underneath the launch track, and I'm just trying to keep it very, you know, Cedar Fair, Six Flags style, using just some, you know, tent canopies there to cover the queue, and then adding some TV screens and that kind of thing. Nothing too crazy fancy themed, just a little touch of colour and a bit of design, but nothing too much. I think, you know, Cedar Fair really do have some kind of themes going on, but it's not consistent throughout a whole area. I think the rides are just kind of themed, like for instance the one I'm thinking of right now is Maverick, and I mean it's in that kind of westerny area of the park, but I wouldn't say that whole area of the park at Cedar Point is immersive. But the ride has a theme, you know, with that kind of Wild West kind of gunslinger style with the design and the ride and the color and everything. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that they do. So this ride here, Rogue Runner, has a kind of theme, I guess, but it's not really consistent throughout the whole area of this park. Right now I'm trying to do like a ride logo, and I kind of wanted like a paw. That wasn't really working out too well, so I kind of figured out something else. I ended up doing like a kind of like a rip with like, I imagined it to be like 3 claws ripping across there. I kind of just stole that idea from Rougarou, from Cedar Point as well. This coaster is called Rogue Runner, so that, I mean, it's a bit of influence, especially with the color of the track as well. So that's the kind of logo I did there, and then now I'm just going to do some lockers at the entrance of the ride so that people that do want to ride can put their stuff away safely in these lockers. I have built a few lockers in this park already, as you may have seen. Each time I do it, I do a new kind of way to do it. So this is another way that I'm doing them. I ended up using the actual door pieces from Shy Guy Set 1. They looked kind of really cool. They're not too thick, but they're thick enough to look like a locker, and they're kind of the thing that I ended up using now in the future as lockers. After doing many different versions of lockers, this is the one that I found kind of works and looks the best. So this station will not have a roof. Most stations in my park have a roof. I thought it was time that one of them didn't. And actually, there's a lot of, I could think of a lot of launch coasters that don't have roofs on the station. Rita and Stealth do not have roofs, which I find very odd considering they are in England and it rains a lot. And now I've just forgotten all the other ones I was thinking of. But yeah, I've gone for a no roof style station on this ride. Just adding in some little signs that don't really mean anything. Maybe this one's some health and safety information at the entrance of the ride there. Along with a height restriction pole that I'm just building here. So that's the kind of gist of the area. I will make another railway crossing here, as I've done before in this park. I don't do it today, I will do it next week on the next video. But it actually turns out to be one of my favourite railway crossings in the park. I know they're all kind of very similar, but this one was really kind of, it was just nice. It had a really good place, and the view through it was really cool. It was one of my favourite ones. So now I'm just going to kind of fill up some areas of trees just to kind of make this area a bit more hidden and blend well with the rest of the park. I'm not going to go too crazy on the trees around the coaster, as I feel like some of the trees would have been cleared when this ride was built. But I am going to go and fill up that big area in the back corner with trees. Maybe I do it at the end of this video, but I do kind of fill up the whole park so that there is not like too much bare land. I'm just going to add some terra painting. I always do this, as you've seen me do before. It's great to add a bit of grey underneath the track and then some of the dark brown to make it look like the grass is a bit more kind of shaded under those areas. As I said in another video, I think that me building that launch coaster was a bit of a cop-out. Like, I kind of could have made something a bit more creative with a bit more of a special layout. And I just, as I said, I tried many different versions of many different coasters. I tried a Maverick style ride, I tried a wing coaster, I tried everything, and this turned out to be, you know, kind of the easy route out to just do this kind of simple launch coaster with a top hat and an airtime hill. But now actually that I've kind of built everything around it and all the kind of custom supports and the area, I'm actually really happy with it, and I feel like it was actually a good decision to build it in the end. So I'm glad I went with it and just kind of thought, you know, I'll do a simple ride. Sometimes simple is better, I guess. So this area just needs some toilets, I thought. So here I'm just going to build a small little toilet block, just so that people in this corner of the park can go to the loo, as there's not really one close actually to this side of the park. So that area I just built will be like a canopy area where people can sit underneath and wait. It will be fenced off from the train track, so don't worry about that. And here I'm just doing a big curved planter. I thought it was like it broke up a bit more rather than just having this random building just kind of sitting there on the path. I thought if I break it up with some plants and things, it might make it flow a bit better, and especially the crossing there with the railway. There's trees on the right side. Just if I put some plants on the left side, it kind of balances it out a little bit, and this makes it definitely makes it flow a bit more. So sometimes I see at theme parks, the one I can think of right now is at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. They have these kind of areas that are just water fountains on the floor. Maybe there's like a draining system where the water can run away and then come back again to come out the fountains. And the kids always kind of run through all the fountains and play, and the parents wait around the outside. So I thought that'd be quite a cool little thing to add into this kind of big area here. Maybe the fountains wouldn't be on all the time, so that it can be just like a normal path, especially maybe when the show's on and there's a lot more people coming through the area. But I thought it'd be quite nice to add like a little play kind of water thing. Just going to do a little rough design here on the floor and use different colours to make it look a bit more pretty. And the fountains, yeah, they're just for a bit of play. I thought this was just something fun to do maybe. This was just kind of like a spontaneous idea that I had, and I just thought, oh, I'll just build it and see how it looks, and I thought it looked okay, so I'm going to stick with that there. This is pretty much everything for this week's episode. I will do a few more tidy up and things next week with this area just to really finish it off. And but yeah, we're getting really close to the end, so thanks for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe. And it's been a pleasure. Hit that thumbs up and I'll see you all next time. Bye.